Testing.
Okay, the water.
Why ain't nobody else say nothing? The only one. Oh, never mind. Ooh, it's 2 people.
No sound. Sloggy, y'all. We a little slow.
10 people in here.
We appreciate y'all. The water for that.
There's
no sound.
I'm on good. I was reading slow anyway.
All right, well, I guess if you could, we'll go back to 17.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 17. And thou shalt take this rod in thine hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs. And Moses went and returned to Jethro, his father-in-law, and said unto him, let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren, which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to Moses, go in peace.
Okay, so if I could, so we're going to do just a quick little recap.
Sir.
So at this time, we're getting into Moses. This is the beginning of, I don't believe Aaron is mentioned yet. Actually, no, he was. He was mentioned earlier. This is the beginning of when Moses and Aaron are being assigned to rescue the children of Israel out of Egypt. At this time, we've been living there for quite a bit. And of course, the new Pharaoh, he did not know Joseph. So he didn't give a damn about us. He saw us as a threat, as many other nations do. Said, hey, there's too many of them. We get into a war, they might side with the other people. Paranoid, just paranoid, right? Even though we're living peacefully among them, didn't do anything. But so we started. I believe last class and the class before that started breaking down the levels of slavery in a sense, because it's not just the traditional sense of okay, you're in chains and stuff. Like no, it's more like a psychological breakdown. They made sure to section us off. Put us in the hood, if you will.
Right.
And then they were sure to go for the women and try to have them unalive the sons so that there will be no more men, which you've seen that a lot in war. They always try to capture the women and do things to them. I'll just leave it at that.
Right.
But they always try to kill off the men because who's traditionally the first line of defense? It's the man. You get rid of the man, now it's free game. But of course, the sisters, righteous, right? They didn't kill their sons. They made sure that their sons lived and thrived and they hid us. You know what I mean? So now, fast forward, the Most High has made himself known onto Moses, as when you're speaking to the bush. Now, at that time, Moses is pretty much like, okay, like I see you,
right?
I believe in you. They might not believe in you though, because they don't see you. So how am I gonna convince them to follow a God that they've never seen?
Come on.
So he's showing him, the Most High is pretty much showing Moses like what he is capable of. Like that's why he's certain, like the staff. Turned to the serpent. You saw him like he put his hand in his bosom, took it back out, got leprosy. Again, just showing like it was no white man, because ain't no white man getting leprosy. Put it back in, return back to its traditional color.
Right.
So he's showing him like, look, like pretty much like no sweat. Like, I got you. Just do what I tell you to do. It'll all work out. So this is the beginning of that. You got anything?
I wanted to touch on in verse 18 when he said, let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren which are in Egypt. You ever hear somebody tell you go back to Africa? Well, they tell Mexicans to go back to Mexico, or imagine a brother, right? Imagine a brother whose life is pretty well off and he doesn't seem as though he's oppressed. He said, man, I got a good job, I got a wife, I got a child, I got a home, I'm straight, I'm well off, I got money. And they try to tell you, they basically want to tell you, don't worry about your brethren. Just because you're doing okay does not mean your brethren aren't doing okay. Moses understood this, and this is how you got to understand. This is why Moses was so powerful. Moses cared about somebody other than himself. You care about yourself. Of course, there's some type of selfishness you have to make sure you're okay. But there's a empathy you must have, a sympathy you must have for your brethren who are not going through it. There's a system design that whites use on blacks or Hispanics where the system is 2 or 3 blacks make it, so they can use that to say every black can make it. So they can use that to say every Hispanic can make it. In reality, we know that's not right. We know that's not possible. We know just because 2 or 3 even slipped through the cracks and had some let's say fortunate events happen to them where they can, you know how many players be in the NBA? I know people right now that are 6'7", 6'6", and are amazing at playing basketball. They're not in the NBA. You know why? Fortune, misfortunes, circumstances. there's a system designed for we're gonna allow 1 or 2 or 3 of you guys to get into this school, and we're gonna look at you and we're gonna brainwash you to tell other blacks and Hispanics that had the same type of horrible upbringing as you that they should be able to pull themselves up out of their bootstrap.
Yep.
Here's the problem with that. Every time we have pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps, every time we've had counties of our own, every time we've had cities of our own, every time we have homes that we've owned, they tear it down, they bomb it. I'll give you a brief fact. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans own a bunch of homes. Where do you think they're at now? You think they just disappeared? No. You have a thing called an interstate. You have a thing called a freeway. Those homes, those neighborhoods that were predominantly Black and Hispanic, they built freeways through those. They built interstates through those to travel. What did they do? Those Black people, those Hispanic people that own those homes, they gave them less. The home, let's say the home was worth $250,000. They gave them $100,000. You're already behind. They didn't even give them $100,000. They might give you 50 or 60 or 70 and tell you, you know what? I know your home was $200,000, but we got to build here. So those Black people that own homes, that were your homes that you were supposed to be passed down to, that you're supposed to be living in right now, they're not there. There's a freaking interstate there. There's a freaking airport there. The places that you lived and that you built and that your family owned and they ran, those places are here no more. Moses understood what was happening. Moses understood the things we do have, they're taken. The things that we want, we can't even get. Moses understood something that you don't understand. He understood the plight of his people. Yeah, Moses was married with children. Moses was living good. Moses was chilling with Jethro. He was outside of Egypt. He was not getting whipped or anything like that. Moses even grew up in Egypt and was rich and still had a problem with how his people was treated. Moses left, did everything a man could do to make a man happy, and Moses still felt the way and said, let me go get my people. That's how you got to be. That's how you should be. That's what we doing here. That's why we here every weekend. That's why we here every day. That's why we do camp. That's why we do classes. For the people who don't understand the Lord, who don't know what they got to go through. It's like,
no, good. Real quick before we continue, there was something you said I wanted to touch on. It's like that sense of selfishness. Like, I think I did bring this up last class. As like human beings, naturally, I don't know if I remember bringing this out before. Every single human being, in some way, shape, or form, we are selfish. Right. Everybody, I'm myself included. I'm talking about everybody. You want something that's yours. Think about it. You hang out with people who have similarities to you. Right. Let's be real. That's why you see when it comes to race, you see white people, for the most part, they want to hang around other white people. Right. Asians want to hang around other Asians, so on and so forth. That's like pretty simple, right? With that being said, with our tribes, I'll say our nation in general, we become too selfish. We've gotten selfish to the point, like how you said, like with Moses and Joseph as well, right? They lived good, right? They lived good. They were Hebrews, but they lived good. They had money, they had power, they had wealth, they had plenty of opportunities to do whatever they wanted, right? But despite that, their nature was still, I want to help my people. Remember, Moses, the same man who saw one of his people getting slew by an Egyptian, and what did he do? He slew the Egyptian. Right. He could have just been like, my problem. You know, I made it. Like you said, like you the 1 or 2 or 3 blacks or Latinos that made it. And it's like, I can make it. So can you. When you know damn well how the demographic is. Like, come on, let's be real. It ain't happening. But we've become so selfish to the point where we don't want to help out each other. Right. We don't want to help out each other. We don't want to help out other tribes. Like actually, we were talking about this. So ever since Trump came into office, and we're hearing about the mass deportation for predominantly, I'll say Mexicans, but let's just say our Hispanic brothers and some Caribbean too, just immigrants in general, right? So we've been seeing beef between tribes out in the world too many freaking times. And one of the things that popped up was now I'm seeing that in the world, by the way, there is some people within the Hispanic community are calling out black people because they're like, well, why aren't y'all helping us out now? But now black people are kind of like, well, y'all racist. Y'all don't even like us. Like we tried to have allyship with you and y'all call us all types of different things. Some of y'all have adopted a white supremacist mindset. Right. And because of that, it's like, we
Right.
ain't gotta help y'all now. Shoot, yeah, y'all only like us when you need help now. But then it goes back to the selfishness, because now I'm seeing some black people who are making fun of Hispanics who are getting deported, who are having their wives, husbands, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, sons, daughters, whatever, getting torn apart. Like, and it's crazy. And it's like, y'all laughing at that. But it's like, as black people, we already know, like, look, we've been on the forefront of oppression for forever. We keep talking about it. That's why everybody don't like us talking so damn much, because we always be yapping about it, because it still happens. So it's like, why are you laughing at their pain? Why? They like that? That's cool now, because as soon as they're done with them, they about to turn their attention right back to you.
Right back to you.
So, but again, selfish, right? Imagine if we had a sense of selfishness, like in a sense of, this is our nation. These are our brothers and sisters.
Right.
Let's protect them and focus on the real enemy. That's what happened. Moses, he saw that and was like, yeah, I live in Egypt. Yeah, I was raised by an Egyptian. Yeah, I'm even married to a heathen woman.
Right.
I'm still Hebrew. And I saw my brother, he got. So, I'm going to get my lick back.
Right.
And you know what? Now, I'm going to go back and go save my people with my brother. That's what I'm going to go do, because I love my people so much. That's the kind of man Moses was, and Joseph, but as you brought out, you don't see that too much. Like Kanye, he know
Right.
He spoke with Captain Tazaria. We all seen the interview, and he's still running around with white women. I don't know her name, and brought her to the you already know what I'm about to say. Brought her to the Grammys and have her butt naked in front of everybody. And it's like, Kanye, you're not supposed to be doing that, but whatever, man. Hey, but don't be like that. Be like Moses. Be like Joseph. That's all
Verse 19. And the Lord said unto Moses in Midian, go return into Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life. Mind you, Moses murdered somebody. I don't remember, unalive. Let me say unalive. Moses unalived somebody, and the Lord still chose them. That's the difference between us and everybody else. There are some fake Israelite groups that say you can't get in to that group if you got a felony. But that is crazy. Then black people cannot get them in there.
Yeah, I'm about to say no. They probably got felonies.
That is crazy. One of them guys said I would snitch on you if you got a warrant. That is crazy. Let me tell you, if I got a warrant, you got to come find me, buddy. I'm not turning myself in, but they'll turn you in. That just show you the difference. That show you the difference between the spirit of some groups and other groups. Mm-hmm. Hey man, you got a felony, bring your behind up in here. We want you. We need you. Because we know what you're gonna do when it comes to your brother. They don't give a damn about you. We know what they're gonna do when it comes to their brother. I'll leave that at that. Mm-hmm. Verse 20. And Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took the rod of God in his hand. And the Lord said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. Verse 22. And again, I want you to think about you and you're not Moses. Just think about you're just an Israelite in Egypt, and you're a slave and you're going through it. Think about it right now today. You're a slave and you're going through it, right? Verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. He didn't say Japheth was his son. He didn't say, Israel is the last nation on the planet Earth. Literally. Israel is the last nation on the planet Earth. Mm-hmm. And Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Verse 23. And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn.
So you see, like, how do I say it? It's a sense of, I would say, righteous possession that the Lord has over the nation of Israel, right? And notice how he ain't say like a few of us. He ain't say everybody else. He said, we go back to what it says. Verse 22, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Break down, see like this. That's my favorite.
That's my favorite.
That's my favorite. Like, you will not harm these people anymore. And if you do, I'm going to get you, which he later does. Spoiler alert. Y'all read Exodus. At least I hope you have some understanding of Exodus. But we're going to slowly break down how the Lord deconstructs Egypt for refusing to let go of his people. That's all.
Is that in 2 Peter, I believe? 2 Peter 3? Y'all can look that up on y'all time. 2 Peter 3, I believe he says, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise. Mm-hmm. The Lord, he's going to tell you what he's going to do, and he's going to do it. He's going to do it not when you want him to do it, or not when you think he's going to do it. He's going to do it when he feels like doing it. Same thing is happening now. The same. He told him, hey, you don't let my people go? You treat my firstborn son, you unalive my firstborn, my son, I'm going to unalive your son. We know he ended up doing it. All right, in the Hebrew, verse 24 through 30, the book of Exodus chapter 4. While you're higher by the rock, Bama Lawak, while Pagash, Bagash, Hawa, Yahweh, while Bakwash, Hama Yahweh, verse 25, Wata Kwaka, Tazab, Para, Tazar, Wata Karath, Ath, Iralath, Bana, Wata Gaai, Lara Gal Yawa, Wata Amar, Kaya, Katan, Damayam, Ata, Laya, verse 26, Wayo Ratazah, Mamanwa, Salakia, Azah, Salakia, Ata, Amara, Katan, Damayan, Lama Walath, verse 27, Wayo Mar, Yahweh, Al, Aran, Arana, Lakha, Lakwa Ra'ath, Mashah, Hama Dabara, Wayalak, Wayaga, Slacker, Wayapa, Gashawa, Bahar, Ha'al, Hayam, Waya Shakwa, Lawa, verse 28, Waya God, Waya Gadah, Mashah, La Haran, Atha, Kal, Dabariyah, Yahweh, Ashar, Shalakawa, Wa'ath, Kal, Ha'ath, Ashar, Taza, Wahawa, verse 29, Wa'alakah, Mashah, Wa'a Haran, Wa'a Ma, or sorry, Wa'a Ma, Wa'ya I, Sapawa, Ath, Kal, Zaquanya, Banyub, Yashala, verse 30, last verse, Waya Dabar, Aran, Atha, Kal, Hada Barium, Ashar, the bar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, Waya Aisha, Ha'atha, La'ai, Yanyub, Ha'ayam. It's like, yeah, Ha'ayam. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 24 through 30. And it came to pass, by the way, in the end, that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet. Am I on chapter 4? Yeah. Okay. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me. This was his son getting what's the word? Circumcised. Ooh, which is about to come up soon in 7 weeks. Verse 26. So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision. Does anybody know the spirit behind the circumcision? Or do you know why all Israelite boys get circumcised? Just if you know, say it. Anybody? Do you know why every single boy that is born an Israelite has to get circumcised. Very simple. Very simple. That's a part of it, but it's something deeper. It's something deeper. It's something. You're right. You're right in the sense of it does make us different, but it's something deeper. Lie. Don't worry. I'll give y'all 30 seconds.
Somebody said, no, not a stamp.
Close.
I know what he means.
Yes, but not. I wouldn't say a stamp. Why do every single male has to get circumcised on the 8th day? It was a sign of that is true, but everybody on the street is just not at the house. It's he said a stamp. How can I put this? He's the Lord's. Just let you know, every boy, we did it in blood. You got it in blood. Meaning I belong to the Lord. Meaning every boy in here belongs to the Lord. Every last single one of us went through that pain. I talked about one. He said seeing his son get circumcised is probably the worst feeling. You literally see them.
I've heard that.
And it's you know how painful they gotta be. You only 8 days old and you got to see you going through it. Every boy goes through that pain. You know why? Because that pain brings glory. Every boy here has to go through the pain to let the Lord know you're his. Every woman, every man is gonna get their son up and say, man, cut off the foreskin of his penis. And that son is gonna go through hell. That day he's gonna be in pain. The next couple of days he's gonna be in pain. And guess what? It was all worth it. Once you understand that, you understand the scriptures. Once you understand going through something that's painful to get something that's righteous, to get a promise, you understand why you have to do what you have to do. You understand why you have to teach these classes every week. You understand why you got to show up on Sunday every week. You understand why you have to why you got to go to camp every week. You understand why you have to study every day. You understand why you have to stay with your wife who's getting on your goddamn nerves every day. You start to really understand the pain to be what? To be a priest and prophet of God, to be a child of God, to be a Hebrew Israelite is what they like to call it. Mm-hmm. To be Black, Hispanic, and Native American. There's a pain you must go through to get the glory, to get the promise. Every man in here must go through that. Now, if you haven't been circumcised, do not go out there and get circumcised at age 40, 56 years old. You can.
Yeah. If I could, like, I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah, if you a brother, like, and you didn't get circumcised before you came into the truth, like you're not in sin because you didn't know any better.
Right.
Like, now if you want to, hey, that is your decision.
Most High in Christ.
Yeah, Most High in Christ. Just letting you know you don't have to.
You come in here with that anteater.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That's insane.
But you can.
That's insane. That's crazy. That is crazy. Look, I gotta deal with him every day. It's all right.
Hey, look.
But no, you don't have to though.
Right.
Also, I was gonna say something. I lost it. Oh, yeah. Also, I don't know if y'all heard her in the background, but yeah, it is also it separates us from the Gentiles.
Right.
So there is a spirit behind that.
Right.
You know, like we are different. We are holy, clean. Yeah, we're separate. We're holy, and we're clean. Like that's not really. I mean, I don't know if heathens do it now or whatever, but let's just say there definitely was a time that they did not practice something like that. Right. We were different. We had to be cut off from everybody else, which is what's happening right now.
Right.
You know, we are now, think about it. Exodus is about exiting Egypt. We are being circumcised from Egypt. Literally. That makes sense. So there's a spirit behind it. Y'all own it though. Everybody, for the most part, like y'all own it. You're correct. We just want to give you a little bit more depth to it.
I always think when someone asks, I always think the spirit behind it. The spirit is the what? The why. Why do we do something? Why do we do certain things? Why do we circumcise boys? Why is a woman unclean this amount of days? Why do you stay with the person you had sex with? Why? I always think of why. Don't ever think about what happened. Okay, think about what happens when you don't do what the Lord tells you. You have the ghetto, you have the barrio, you have the reservation, you have what you live in now, you have the life you have now. That's the why. That's why not. You want the why. The why is you be living in heaven. The same way everybody else treats you, you're gonna be able to treat them that way. Because you're gonna run the earth. You're gonna run the world. You're gonna run the earth. How you do circumcised, son? Anyway. Verse 20, what was it? 27.
20, yeah.
And the Lord said to Aaron, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of God and kissed him.
And again, not actually kiss him. He hugged his brother. He saluted him. He embraced him.
Right. Verse 28. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him and all the signs which he had commanded him.
Right.
And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. Verse 30. Now again, he gathered all the elders of the children of Israel. I don't understand how you can get everybody can be saved from this Bible. From Genesis, talks about the Israelites being born, to Exodus, talking about Israelites separating themselves or circumcising themselves from other people, from other nations, all the way to Revelation. It talks about Israel being a holy people, a just people, a special, a separate people, a peculiar people unto the Lord. How do you get everybody else in here? Where is that involved at? You know what? You just want to be involved. And I understand why. You would like the promises that God is going to give the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You think we don't deserve it. Guess what? We do deserve it. You know why? Because we go through what we go through. All we got to do is come back to this.
Right.
By May. Verse 20, what was it? 29?
Yeah.
And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spake all the words which the Lord had spoken unto Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 31, through chapter 5, verse 6 in the Hebrew. It's like it. Waya Aman Ha'aim, Waya Shama Aiwa, Kaya, Pakwad, Yahweh, Ath, Banya, Yasha'ala, Waikaya, Ra'ah, Ath, Ayanyam, Waya Quadawa, Waya Shath Kawawa, verse chapter 5, verse 1. Wa'akar, Ba'aiwa, Mashah, Wa Haran, Waya Marwa, Al Para'aya, Kaha, Amar, Yahweh, Alahaya, Yasha'ala, Shalak, Ath, Aimaya, Anya, Waya Kagawa, Laya, Bamad, Badamar, verse 2, Waya Amar, Para'ai, Maya, Yahweh, Ashar, Ashama'ai, Bakwalawa, Lashalak, Lashalak, or Lashlak, Ath, Yasha'ala, La'ah, Yada Aitawa, Ath, Yahweh, Wagam, Ath, Yasha'ala, La'ah, Ashalak, Waya Marwa, Alahaya, Ha Barayam, Nakwa Ra'ah, Ila Yanwa, Nalaka, Na'ah, Darak, Shalashath, Yamayam, Bama the Bar, Wanaza, Bacha, Laya Hawaya, Alahayan Yanwa, Pana, Pun, Yapa Ga, Ainwa, by the bar, yeah, by the bar, Alwa, Baka Rabah, verse 4, Wayamar, Alahayam, Balak, Matazayam, Mariam, Salaka, Matazariam, Lama, Masha, Waya Amarwan, Hapa Ra, Yaiwa, Ath, Ha'aim, Mama I, Shayak, Shawa, Salaka, Yawa, Lakawa, Lasa, Bala, Takam, verse 5, Waya Amar, Para I, Hana, Rabayum, Aitha, Ain, Ha Rataza, Waha, Shabbathum, Athum, Masa Balathum, verse 6, last verse. Waya Tazawum, Para I, Banyawum, Haha Wa'ah, Hana, Gashayum, Ba'ain, Wa'ath, Shata Ra, Shata Raya, Yawawa, La Amar. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 4, verse 31. And the people believed, and when they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshiped. That's another thing with Israel. You know where it says the Jews require a sign? That's your problem. You want a sign. And the Lord has given you so many signs, you still refuse to see the sign. He has to show them a sign to say the Lord is with us. Well, we're so far removed that even a sign won't work. You know what a sign is today that the Lord is with us? We've never lost the battle. That's a sign. You should look. We've never lost the battle. Another sign is when you see a brother who gets into the school and he stops smoking weed. That's a sign. You know how hard it is to stop smoking weed in the world? That's a sign is a brother who used to be alcoholic who don't even drink no more. That's a sign. A sign is a woman who used to be, she was a hoe. Like she was a flat out whore. She's not whoring anymore. That's a sign. Like you literally can turn a whore's house. That's a sign. That should be the biggest sign on the planet Earth. Man, this woman used to be out here on the streets every weekend doing it with who knows who and Joe Blow and whatever his name is. Now she doesn't do any of that anymore. A sign is your child grew up around gangbangers, used to gangbang, and said, I'm not going to gangbang anymore. I'm going to denounce any of those things that harm blacks and Hispanics, Native Americans. I'm not going to have sex with a woman and throw her away. That's a sign. When your best friend is not out here sleeping with whores the first night, and he can, that's a sign. There's a sign for you. You just overlook it. You want a staff to turn into a stick. Yeah. It's not happening, buddy.
Yeah, if I could real quick, like sign, right? I want y'all to really pay attention to what he's saying. Like those who've been in the truth, like we know, like there's the reason why the Lord referred to us as being like a stiff-necked people.
Right.
Like we hard-headed. You clearly see it, right? Like we hard-headed. Like Moses knew that if he was to go down to Egypt by himself, and he tried to think like, Salaki, I'm gonna just be real with you. Think niggas. Like think of like ignorant people, like just don't want to listen to nobody to themselves. Like we think we know everything when we really don't. We be thinking like speak to rocks. My zodiac sign told me today that I shouldn't turn left, I should go right, or I should stay away from this person because they're a Leo and blah blah, just a whole bunch of BS, right? That's how we think, right? Moses knew that. That's why he looked at the Lord like, hey, like I hear I'm picking up what you're putting down, but if I go down there and tell them to go worship a God that they've never seen, they're not going to listen to me. Of course, the Lord smarter than that. He already thinking 100 steps ahead. Like, look, you're going to do, not only am I going to have you go down there, he showed him the wonders, then told him, you know what, bring your brother, because your brother, Aaron spoke well. He knew how to speak to the people. Like Moses, he's going to lead the charge, but Aaron, he's going to talk to the people because he know how to talk to them, right? That's what was happening right here. The thing is, though, he knew how hard-headed we were, and we still hard-headed. Like, you want a sign, the sign is this. The sign is the Isupk and the Commander General Yohana. That ain't good enough for you. The sign is when we go out, we got brothers in Arizona right now going to camp, right? When we out there on the street corner, and y'all think we just look stupid in our funny little garments, and we look like Power Rangers or whatever, and we literally telling y'all that America is corrupt, the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We should come together and you should serve God, get off drugs, stop being an alcoholic, stop beating women, stop beating men, stop being a whoremonger, stop being a whore. I mean, the list goes on, right? Basic stuff when you really think about it, right? And that ain't good enough for you. Y'all gonna go home and be like, God talked to me in my head.
That's crazy.
No, God was talking to you through his messengers. Because, another, I think it's a synonym for in the Bible anyway for messenger is an angel, right? Now we not We're not angels. We're not that. But we are messengers. A priest is just a messenger. We ain't telling you like we reading to you what was in here. This thing is thousands of years older than us. We're not getting up here to tell you what we think. We're telling you what's right here. That's your sign. Stop being hard-headed and listen to what's being told to you.
Right.
But I get it. Some of y'all, I don't want to listen to no man. Be a lot of you sisters in the world that think you have a relationship with God and you're so holy. Meanwhile, you sleeping with the pastor. How that work?
That's crazy.
Some of you brothers out there, you swear you got all the answers, but you don't want to listen to nobody. Like you can't even humble yourself enough to understand, like, I might be
right.
You're too prideful. You don't listen to nobody. Think about it. There's people who do not want to be in this school because they're of high rank in whatever made up group they got. Knowing damn well that it's a lie, but you can't humble yourself enough to come here because you know that you're going to be a young man.
Right.
I don't give a damn if you're 50, 60, 40 years old. You're going to be a young man and you're going to relearn, get all that BS out your head. And then, Lord allow, you could be made into a way better man. It's going to take time, though. You don't want that time.
Right.
You have your power now. You don't want to give it up. That's your problem. A lot of y'all want a miracle to happen. You want us to get on the water and walk on water like our president. That's what you want.
You really just want $1 million dumped to your bank account, literally, to prove that God is real. Yeah, God wants your black ass to be poor. How about that? Why don't you just be content with being poor for a hot little minute? I ain't saying go out there and get nothing, or don't try to go get something. God might don't want you to get no money. Why don't you ever think about that? Why do you think God think you need to get some money? You ain't shit. Sloppy. I'll probably get fined for that. That's okay. Once the day you realize God might don't want me to get anything I thought I ever wanted.
Because what happens when we do? You know how what happens when we get money?
I know what happens when you
get stupid. We start doing stupid stuff.
How about you just serve the Lord? How about you serve the Lord and the Lord give you what he wants to give you? Yeah, I guarantee what he can give you is better than anything you can give yourself. Anyway.
Yep.
Even the third one, if I may, and the people believe, and when they heard, again, the people have to believe.
Right.
And the people believed, and when they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel and that he had looked upon their affliction, the Lord sees what you're going through. He sees your heartache, he sees your pain, he sees your struggle. You got to understand, you just got to wait. You got one thing to do, serve the Lord. Why you serving the Lord? You just wait. You just tarry. You just do what you got to do by serving the Lord every day. Because he sees your affliction, he sees what you're going through. In the same way he got us out of Egypt, in the same way he's going to get up out of Egypt again. Chapter 5, verse 1. And afterward, Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go.
If I could real quick, this is a perfect example of the mindset of an oppressor.
Right.
Pharaoh thinks that he is above God.
Right.
Matter of fact, he thinks he's God. That's the white man today. He thinks that he is just so beyond everybody else. Like he don't got no fear of anything else. It's just I run everything. Think about really look at like the unnatural things that like white people do, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like perfect example, right? Y'all the ones that started making that culture of I'm a man born in a woman's body. It don't make no freaking sense. We don't think like that. If you are a woman, you are a woman. If you are a man, you are a man. That's it, right? But somehow you've plagued our people to believe in that crap because y'all be believing that crap. You think that you can just switch your gender, and you brainwash people like now that like don't get me wrong, I don't like Trump. He's still a white man at the end of the day. But I guess now he's supposedly not all for like the transgender stuff, right? Now he's trying to ban some stuff. Now you got all these people, they get them brainwashed. Now they mad. Now they're angry. Like you can't take away, like you probably should take that away.
Yeah.
Because you're mentally ill.
Right.
You need like psychological therapy and help. But that's what they make you think. They make you think that you can. I don't know who made sperm banks, but I'll put it like this. Just man and a woman, right? Hear me out. Man and a woman get together, love each other. Y'all do whatever. Out comes baby. Sometimes babies, right? Why I gotta make sex complicated. Like now you got like I think you showed me a while ago. It was a dude that turned into a chick, and then there was a chick that turned into the dude, but then they got together. But then like the dude chick still got pregnant by the man dude. I'm confused. I'm confused trying to explain it.
The dude chick.
But it's weird. It's like what just like what's going on now? The baby gonna come out being like
sucking on the breast from the man.
But then the woman is really the father.
That's crazy.
That don't make you see how crazy that sounds? That's what happens. But again, that's what happens when you try to play God.
It's crazy.
Like one of my favorite iterations, like I like the Jurassic Park series like a lot. I've always loved it. But one thing I've always like noticed in those movies, because I've rewatched them like 1,000 times. Again, white people, you trying to recreate genetically bioengineered dinosaurs.
Come on.
Like they done. Why are you trying to bring them back? Now you're trying to make them into what you think they should be. And then what happened? You lost control of them and they started killing people. So you know how it's the movie. It's more of an exaggerated sense, but that is their nature to do something like that. Think about it, trying to make AI robots.
Dude. Deep Blue Sea was based off that. It was sharks.
Oh, yeah. One with LL Cool J?
Yeah. Only man to survive. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Most high Christ.
But yeah. No, you're right. You making these bioengineered super smart sharks, and then you end up dying.
Hey, Kunash Yala told him something. A pregnant woman with a beard is crazy. The sister said a lady dude. You're right,
but this is already. Think about it. Like 20 years ago, we wasn't having conversations like this. Now, what you be like?
You know what? I'm talking to Bayala. You know, he's just graduated high school, man. Most high Christ. He graduated high school, and he was like, "It's so many of them people at the school." He's talking about them type of people, the LGBTQ people. He was like, "It's so many of them." And he asked me, he was like, "How was it like when I was in school?" It just made me feel like I'm just. I graduated in 2010, bro. Anyway, wow, please.
I was 3 years old.
You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I was like, you know what? The one little punk dude we did have, like we used to like mess with him. Like his name was Tremendous. So it's crazy. He was like, was he destined to be this way type of shit? But
time out.
Tremendous. All right. Sure. Anyway, so that was his name. That was his real birth name on the certificate. I never had a class with him, most high Christ. But they used to throw the dude in like a little locker. Like, he was a punk. It was like, that's not normal for us. That's not what you've seen. Now, 15 years later, the brother graduated and he's like, it's so many of them. That shows you the plight of this land. This place is not designed for them to rule because children rule over us. Mm-hmm. It's not designed for those children to rule over us because they don't know how to make the earth self-sustaining again or keep the earth self-sustaining. They're unaliving everything. A pregnant lady with a beard, like a cafeteria lady, is crazy.
Lady,
like what another sister said, Salakia, those troops or those groups say we don't all have to get together because that's your Hawashai's job. Yeah, of course that's what they say. You know why they say that? Because they don't have the mental capacity to not be in their feelings.
You know what? If I could real quick, that sentence right there, that we don't all have to get together because that's your Hawashai's job. Aren't you supposed to be following your Hawashai? And you should listen to him, right? You see, hard-headed. You see? That like thwada, like that sentence right there just proves the hypocrisy and everything else. And like you said, like going back to how I'm gonna say the oppressor in general, just want to play God, right? Everything, like I could talk about movies, we talk about Jurassic Park, we talk about Terminator, we talk about what was the one with Will Smith? Was it iRobot?
iRobot, yeah.
iRobot. It's like all these, like, again, fiction, right? For the most part. But it shows you every single time in these movies, these TV shows, whatever, it shows you the nature of the so-called white man. Esau always trying to control some stuff and he's trying to play God. And then guess what happens? Destruction. He end up getting destroyed. Like you said right now, like you brainwash these people into thinking this way, but you said a word, self-sustained.
Right.
If everybody thought like that, and I always pitch this same argument to everybody and they start going crazy. If we all believed in what the rainbow community believed in, and we could just do whatever we want, right? Okay, we would all die. Because nowhere can you sit here and convince me that a man, a biological man born with Salakia, a penis and testicles, is gonna have the ability to carry a child, and a girl who becomes a woman who has ovaries and a uterus, it has the ability to get a man pregnant. It's never gonna happen.
Right.
You can sit there and put on fake boobs and whatever the hell you want to do. You're still a man. You can try to lie to yourself all you want. You're still a man, and you don't get pregnant. You get women pregnant. Then some of them, they go so crazy they end up, now you ain't even got that no more.
Right.
You done mutilated yourself because that's what it is.
Doing.
And now you just
right.
It's just insane, man. Like but again, it's like I got a little off topic, but for verse 2, when it says, and Pharaoh said, who is the Lord that I shall obey his voice to let Israel go? You should have listened the first time because of Pharaoh not wanting to listen. But we see how Egypt is today.
Where is Egypt? Some Caucasian runner. Verse 3. And they said, the God of the Hebrews have met with us. Again, it's not the God of everybody. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our God, lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. And the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their works get you unto your burdens? You know what that means? That means mind your business. Hey, these people got to go to work. Mind your business. Don't come in here and try to start an uproar. Mind your business, boy. That's what they want you to do. They want to burden you so much that you don't even have time to even worry about anybody else. You don't have any time to worry about somebody else's problem. They want to burden your behind. Don't worry. Moses saw through that. Aaron saw through that. They said, we ain't got nothing to do any damn way. This is our job. This is our burden. Our burden is them. I have slavery, of course. This brother has slavery, of course. That's not my job.
That's what we call it, slavery.
It's a slavery. It's a slavery. Here's the thing. All the other time I have outside that slavery is for this. It's for the burden of blacks and Hispanics to figure out how to help them better, to figure out how to get them out of their struggles. Only way they're going to get out their struggles if we teach them the Bible the way the Bible is supposed to be taught. How do we learn the Bible? By studying the Bible. When can we study the Bible? When we're done with our slavery. This is my work. This is my job. This is in 2 Thessalonians. This is my job right here. Study to show thyself approved. Right. Verse 5. And Pharaoh said, behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burden. I mean, you stopping people from working. Their burdens, we need them people to be burdened so we can get Egypt built up. So Egypt can run right, we need to burden your people. For America to run right, we need the Mexicans here to pick all them fruits for nothing. Let me say something real quick. Do you know how much money undocumented immigrants put into Social Security and Medicare?
How much?
In 2022, I don't have this year's or last year's, but in 2022, you would think it would put in no money because that's how they want you to think. They want you to think that undocumented immigrants was really just Hispanics and Latinos and brothers from Haiti and Jamaica, West Indians that are not registered here. You think that they put no money into it. You think they're taking money from you. They put $96 billion into Social Security and Medicare.
That's insane.
Do they get Social Security and Medicare? No. So they gave you $96 billion for something that they don't even get back in return. They don't get it. They're undocumented. They're undocumented. And you want them people to leave. Their burden is to build up your country. More white people on Medicare than anybody else.
True.
That's true. Their burden to go pick those. They get taxes. They have to pay taxes. They get a paycheck. They pay taxes. $96 billion in 1 year were given to you to build your country up. Same thing here. And here's the crazy part. You want to kick them out. You're stupid. The fact that you know economics, the fact that you know supply and demand, the fact that you know money, because I know you do know it because you run the whole earth. The people who are giving you the most money and getting the less return and getting less in return, you want to kick them out. This is why you can't run anything anyway, and this is why this nation is falling. The people who do the most work get the least, and you want to get rid of them guess what? Your nation is going to turn upside down, which it's been doing for the last 100 years. Just wait.
If I could, real quick, like to go into like the immigration and everything, like there's a lot of people. I'm going to say like white Americans, mostly, right? You know, like you said, like they want to get rid of the illegal immigrants, right? What would really be killing me, going back to how sadly our people think, right? I'm gonna take a note out of Kazak Yad's book, talking about like Mexican Americans, or I'm gonna say like also like people who come from like Haiti, Jamaica, like just the islands and stuff, South America, Caribbean, all that, and then like they come here, and then you end up having kids here. Here's the thing: you start to adopt this mindset. I'm talking about, if I offend anybody, that means I'm talking about you.
Right.
You start to adopt this mindset like, I'm not Mexican, I'm Mexican American. Yeah, you know, I got roots in Jamaica or Barbados or whatever, but I'm American, right? And you start like agreeing with the mindset of so-called white men. Oh yeah, we need to get rid of them.
Well, it's crazy.
That's crazy because you're only here
because of
that. Like my great granddaddy came from Kingston, Jamaica. If he ain't meet whoever my great grandma was, I would not be here.
Right.
Right. So I look real freaking stupid if I sit here and be like, yeah, get rid of all the immigrants. Like I come from that.
Right.
Like, but then y'all will sit here and do that. Like I was at my slave, actually, this is literally yesterday. We about to end the shift, and I work with mostly, it's like 4 black dudes there. I'm one of them. And there's like mostly Hispanics and white people, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I can't tell you where I work, but just know that it's a very patriotic environment. We'll say it like that, right? So anyway, we about to get ready to go. There's like some other dudes, like they veterans and stuff too. We talking, and then somehow they start talking about Trump. And I kid you not, I cannot make this up. There are Mexicans there that refer to Trump as Daddy Trump.
That's crazy
because they like the policies that he's bringing out, right? Then there's another dude, I ain't gonna say his name, Mexican dude. He was in the army, and he was like an army ranger, veteran, right? So like we usually talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
He starts going in because it was the not the riots. What am I talking about? The protests.
Yeah.
And they started burning the American flag. Now, of course, I'm all like, shoot, yeah, dude, it's a piece of freaking fabric. For those of y'all who don't know, it's like considered like a crime to let the American flag touch the ground. It's freaking crazy. But they started burning the American flag, right? When I tell you, I was shocked to see how many other Hispanic brothers that were angry at other Mexicans because they burned the American flag. And I'm confused. And they're like, yeah, you know, I'm all for Mexican pride, but, you know, when you burn the flag, you know, that's where I draw the line. I'm sitting here like I didn't say that. I'm just quiet. I'm just listening. I'm just eavesdropping. I'm trying to see like where's this going right now. They start going in about that. Start saying that they're all for the mass deportation, and I'm like baffled because I'm like, y'all. And for the sake of for the class, I'm not talking about just Isupk. It's a lot of other tribes that think like this. I'm just using this as an example.
Yes,
but I'm confused because I'm like, how in the same sentence you say you all about Mexican pride, but then you draw the line when the Mexicans who are being affected by this are burning the American flag. Right. Now it's wait, whoa, we can't do that. Right. I literally said, I kid you not, said that, oh no, I still love my country. I fought for this country. So it was actually a white person that asked him. He said, well, aren't you Mexican? He's like, I mean, yeah, like I'm, he said, my dad's from there, but what has Mexico ever done for me? And I'm like, what? This
is why you blame the school system.
But this is the mindset that a lot of y'all have. That's why I was bringing it up earlier about how there's, like, it's again, Hispanic versus blacks. Like, still trying to stir that up.
Right.
But it's brainwashing, man. It's brainwashing because you are hating your own people because what they weren't born by the border, which is crazy because most of anywhere from the Midwest on, Arizona, Nevada, Texas, New Mexico, all that was Mexico.
Right.
You know, that was Mexico. And the only reason that they got that was, I believe, it was the Treaty of Guadalupe in like 1886, I believe. And that's because the white man broke the treaty.
Right. He broke every treaty he's ever
he broke it. They weren't even supposed to get the land, but they broke the treaty and betrayed them. And guess what? Now they got here. Now you mad because you're going to blame your brothers and sisters for immigrating over here. But the only reason you here is because your parents immigrated over here.
Crazy.
You see, like again, selfish. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you. Your dad isn't getting deported. Your daughter isn't getting deported. your wife isn't getting deported. So since it ain't got nothing to do with you, hey, what Mexico ever done for me, right?
Until your dad gets deported.
Exactly.
Until your wife gets deported.
Exactly.
Because she will, because they don't give a damn if you do got papers or not.
Yeah, they don't care.
You look like a Mexican, get out of here.
They trying to instill laws now where they could, I'm just calling it is what it is, racial profile.
Yes.
That's literally what it is. It's racial profile. Like, oh yeah, you look Mexican. You look Mexican enough. I want to see if you got papers.
That's crazy.
And even if you do, I don't like give it.
I'm gonna rip your papers up.
Crazy.
I'm turn this body cam off. I'm gonna rip your papers up. And I'm gonna send your black ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't. This is real life. This is what's happening today. It's been happening. Same mindset as like you see some black people, like you brought out earlier. You get a little bit of money. I made it out the hood.
Right. So can you.
I got money. You could do it. I shouldn't have to help you because I did it all on mine. Which realistically you didn't. You had help, but you know, whatever. My point being is, you see how it all comes out. This is not your place of rest.
Right.
This is not it. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 5. And Pharaoh said, "Behold, the people of the land now are many, and ye make them rest from their burdens." And Pharaoh commanded the same day, the same exact day. He didn't even wait. Pharaoh said, "Oh no, this is on my mind right now."
Mm-hmm.
The same day, the taskmasters of the people and their officers saying, let's get to it. Verse 7 in the Hebrew, La'ah, Ta'asa, Pawan, Lata, Taban, La'ain, Lalaban, Hala Banyam, Kata, Mawal, Shalasham, Shalasham, Hum, Yala Kawab, Wakwa Shashawa, Lahum, Taban, verse 8, Wa'ath, Matha Kanath, Hala Banyam, Ashar, Hama, Ishayam, Tamawal, Shalasham, Dasha Yamawa, excuse me, Ala Yahum, La'ah, Saga, Tagarai Wub, Manwab, Kayub, Nara Panyum, Hama, Al, Kana, Hum, Taza Iquayum, La Amar, Nalaka, Naza Baka, La Hai Yanwab, verse 9, Takabat, Ha'ai Bada, Al, Ha'a Nayashyam, Waya Aishwa, Ba, Wa'al, Yasha Aiwa, Bada Baryub, Shakwar, verse 10, Waya Taza Aiwa, Tazawa, Nagashya, Ha'ain, Washa Zaro Slaga, Washa Taryawa, Wa'amarwa, Al Ha'ain, La Amar, Ka, Amar, Paraiha, Ayan Yanoyab, Nathan, Lacham, Thaban, verse 11, Atham, Lakawa, Kwakawa, Lacham, the Thaban, my Aishar, Thama Taza Iwa, Kaya, Ayan, Nagarai, Ma'ai, Badatha come, the bar, verse 12, why Pataza, Haya Ain, Bakal, Arataza, Matazarayan, Lakwash, Kwashab, Lataban, verse 13, last verse, Wahana, Gashiyam, Atazayam, La Amar, Kalya, Kalwa, Ma'ai Shayakam, the bar, Yawam, Baya, it's like a Baya Wamawab, Wa'amawab, Kashar, Bahayawath, Hathabun. Hatabana. This is the book of Exodus chapter 5, verse 7 through 13. Ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. This is making their burdens more difficult. Remind you, he said that same I ain't gonna give them time. Imagine this, right? You get paid 8 hours. You make your same check 8 hours, right? Let's say you get paid, let's just say 25 an hour, right? But let's just say 20. You get paid $20 an hour for 8 hours. They say, no, we're gonna break down your 8-hour pay from that 20. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna break down your 8-hour pay to $16 an hour for 12 hours. Do you understand the burden that goes into that? Now you still getting paid the same, but now you gotta work more. You gotta work more hours for it. This is the same thing he did when he say, don't even bring it to them. Let them go get it. Let them go make the straw. Let them go. What he said, ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. He said, hey, let them go out there an extra 2-3 hours and go gather straw for themselves. Right. Matter of fact, you don't get them anything. You Egyptians, you're not even gonna work. We're gonna make sure these people work in slavery. We're gonna burden them even more.
If I could, real quick, this is very strategic what Pharaoh is doing. I'm painting for you like this. I don't want to be too long-winded. Y'all ever see, like, let's say it's just a group of two black people, right? And there's that one, like, y'all all getting done dirty, but there's one that's willing to speak up, right? And you know what oftentimes happens? Whoever is in charge, whoever the oppressor is, right? Because you decided to speak up, you know what they're gonna do? They will actually make it harder for not you, but for everybody else, right? And then what that turns into is then a demon starts to form. Because now it's like, sadly, you see a lot of times we don't get the mindset of, oh, let's all stand up with them. Right? You know what happens? It turns into, hey man, shut up, man, because you go over here pissing them off. Right. Let's just be good. You start getting mad at the person who's trying to stick up.
Right.
That's very strategic, and that still happens today. Think about it. It happens all, like, in the workforce, right? It'd be that one person, like, y'all getting gypped. Right. Y'all know, like, you getting racially discriminated or you getting treated unfairly. You worked overtime. It's funny, my company actually got sued for this. You worked overtime and you didn't it didn't reflect your paycheck.
Right.
And you speak up.
Yeah.
And then sadly, it's like, okay, either they're just gonna get rid of you or they're gonna make it hard for everybody else.
That's it.
And then they're gonna blame you. Not them, not the person that's orchestrating all this. They're gonna blame you. That's slavery. That's very tactical of any, call it a taskmaster,
right? For
the most part,
it's your supervisor.
Yeah, that's what happens. Let's break them up. I know that used to happen all the time when it'd be like a big group of us.
All the time.
Yeah. You already know I'm going. Yeah. I don't even need to go into that story, but it's a lot more common than you think. Let's leave it at that. Yeah.
It's fine. That's you. Do you understand? You know the power that you do have. Like, just imagine. Okay, we talked about this with sin. Imagine one day, Blacks, Hispanics, just one day out of the whole year, like an opposite day of purge. We did no crime. We left we didn't even leave the house. We just stayed at home, and I don't slept or just hung with your people. You didn't go to no stores. You didn't do no crime. Didn't do no looting. You did nothing. This place would crumble in one day. Imagine if none of us went to work. This place would crumble in one day. Mm-hmm. They're not allowing your mind to think that far because of the burden that they're putting on you. Your burden and your task won't even allow your brain to separate from today. Imagine none of us went to work for a day. Oh, man, a week? Over with. It's all right. We not going to work until you give us a $25 raise.
It'd be an economic collapse. Matter of fact, I forgot. I think it was in Florida, whatever that company was. I think it was like a construction company. They ended up going on strike.
No, his name.
Yeah, but they kept. That was an example of what happens when you stick with it, right?
Right.
They stayed together, and then what ended up happening was they were forced to give them a pay raise.
Cool.
One too. But imagine if one of them would have been like, "I'm good, man." Like you said, we burden, right?
Right.
Still got mouths to feed. Still got a wife we gotta go take care of. Still gotta go pay rent. Still gotta go pay mortgage. Still got a car loan that we gotta go pay for. It's like, man, I don't have time to sit here and put my integrity on the line.
And you can plan that. You don't understand how far you can plan that in a year. You say we're gonna stack up all our money because we know in next year in a month we're not gonna work.
Yeah,
we're for a month straight. We're just not gonna work. We're gonna see how this company. Man, the company I work for, full of Hispanics, bro. If they do not work, their company falls that day. It takes 3 months just to pay the insurance on the whips. So imagine if they did not work for a day or a month. Oh my God, the place would go up in flames.
Oh yeah.
What is it? 700 Hefe. I'm just saying. I don't like to say Hefe. You all believe the Messiah comes soon. I believe he comes when he wants to come. When the Lord decides to send him back, that's when he'll come. You have any other questions? Put them in the chat. We can answer them. That's about as honest as I can be. Anyway, verse 8.
Yep.
And the tale of the bricks which they did make heretofore, ye shall lay upon them. Ye shall not diminish aught thereof, but they be idle. That's what they said. Because you have so much time to think about other things that actually matter, they're saying you have idle hands. You have idle time. Why is my time idle? Because I want to feed my brain with information and knowledge. Hey man, you got too much time to be over there reading the Bible.
That's slavery.
That is slavery.
That's slavery. Think about it. Like literally, like, oh man, like I really want people just to really understand. Like everything we read in this is slavery. Like when you read them books about why we weren't allowed to read and all that other stuff, this is it right here. Why are you reading? You should go be picking cotton right now. You need to be go picking strawberries and fruit. That's what you should be doing. You should be serving us. Why are you doing something else? Matter of fact, that still happens today. You know how many times, like, I'll be real with you. I complain about this all the time with my red. I'll be at my slave sometimes, and like, it's like towards the end of the year and the beginning of the year, there ain't nothing to do. And I just be mad. I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Now, when I used to work the night shift, I had a supervisor, a short little Spaniard dude. And I had to like figure out how to avoid him because he was one of them dudes that if there was nothing to do and he saw you sitting,
it's crazy. Then
he'll be like, what are you doing?
That's crazy.
You know, there's still other stuff to do. And I remember I got mad one time and I looked at him straight in his face and I'm like, you know what he made me do? I had to get into a forklift and then we had to move boxes. Nothing to do. Like, look, I could be doing anything else. I'm over here trying to look like, man, I don't know. I might want to go to school again or something. I don't know. Like, you know, I want to, it could be something simple. Like, man, I'm trying to shop for some shoes. Right. So I don't know. Nah, you still at work. You still got to go do something. Ain't nothing to do. But you got free time, though. So mind to mind. Literally, my business. Ain't bothering nobody. And that's what happened right now. Ain't no work to do. He said, we're gonna make you move those boxes in there for me. I don't even have to do this. But you're gonna make me do my sweet ass. I don't know. That's how you did. But literally, like, this is what's happening now. Think about it. What were we doing? Minding our business. And what did Pharaoh do? He looked at us and was like, we got to do something about this. Joseph never heard from him. Get them. Joseph never heard of him. Literally. For real. He said, I don't know who that is. I ain't worried about him. We're gonna make y'all work. We're gonna have y'all build up this. We're gonna have y'all build up this country. We're gonna be the biggest, the biggest, strongest, most powerful empire on this planet. And I need you to work. Mm-hmm. You minding your business. I ain't got work to do. You over there trying to go. Oh man, Moses said we need to go over there and serve the Lord for 3 days. Like, nah, I ain't doing that. Don't even think about that because your ass gonna work. That's crazy. We're gonna give you less pay and make you work more hours. Do you understand? If you go buy, let's say you make $20 an hour, right? If you go buy a $100 shirt, you work 5 hours for a shirt. You got to really understand the mindset of this place, man. You're poor. This place is crazy, right? Mm-hmm. Verse 9. Let their more work be laid upon the men, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. This is another problem with Pharaoh. He thought the words coming out of Moses and Aaron's mouth was vain. He told them, no, come. He told them, hey, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. What they God talk, I don't even know they God. What Moses and Aaron talking about, he ain't talking about nothing. I'm gonna make y'all go to work. Don't even regard those vain words that Moses is telling you about freedom. Moses is telling you about serving your God. Your job, your taskmaster, your president is telling you, oh, don't even worry about it because it's not happening anyway. We don't even know your God.
It's vain.
Yeah, there's work to be done.
Come on.
You need to go get them straws, right?
Bricks.
That's what you need to do. You need to build up this house that we told you. Don't worry. Don't be worrying about doing anything else. Don't try to do anything for yourself.
Come on.
And the key word I want to focus on, like I keep bringing up, is selfishness, right? Now there's righteous selfishness and then there's unrighteous selfishness.
Right.
You being possessive over your wife, that's righteous selfishness.
Right.
That's
That's my wife.
That's your wife.
No,
Those are your kids.
Right.
Like, this is you want to go hang out with your people. These are your people. It's a possessive term, right? But then you have unrighteous selfishness. And I'll say he's a heathen. I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but he's using it in the sense of like, oh, now I'm gonna benefit my people. I don't give a damn what y'all doing. I don't care about none of that. Y'all gonna do what I tell you to do. And that's literally the same spirit. The reason why I'm harping on this so much. You even when you don't think you're going through this literally every single day. When you go to your slave and don't do nothing. Even though if there's nothing to do, like legitimately nothing to do, don't do nothing in front of the so-called white man or whoever's in charge of you. They're gonna get bothered. Let you laugh too much.
Right.
You go again unbothered. You go to the club or whatever. It'll be a mixed amount of people there, right? They see black people having a good time.
Boy,
it's a problem. I actually this, not to be long-winded, but it's funny to me because I knew it was gonna happen. I was part of like this little Facebook group, like this little gaming community.
Yeah.
Right. So this game I play, they release like different like costume skins or whatever, depending on what time of the year it is. So Christmas they give out something. I guess it's the Chinese New Year, so they did like a Chinese New Year event. It was a brother. All he did was make a post saying it would be cool if we got skins for Black History Month. That's all he said. There's all the 3 black people in the game. Well, I tell you, white people got mad. Well, now I'm literally seeing stuff like, oh, what we gonna do? Put do-rags on them?
Hey, bro.
Literally, I think, oh yeah, we need a George Floyd costume. I don't even know why that's even like still being brought up.
This is crazy.
Like, oh yeah, what we gonna do? Give them crack pipes and weed? Like, it is all white people, but they were like upset, like genuinely upset about that. So the admin ended up like turning off the comments, so I couldn't say nothing. So I like screenshotted it, and I was like, oh, so y'all really mad about this? Again, still mad. And their argument was like, oh, you comparing this to holidays. It's not the same. And I'm like, well, Chinese New Year is a 16-day event. So, I mean, there's that. But we all know what it really is. You just unbothered. That brother didn't say nothing wrong. He's like, man, it'd be cool. We just had some skins. That's all.
Right.
For a video game.
If I may.
That's it.
I know these are the same 2 people. Because, yeah, I know they are.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, who cares what you're talking about? Again, he's coming back. And no, I did not. I was riding with him. How about that?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
When I was young, I got fired at the warehouse for talking.
I'm about to get fired tomorrow, Monday, when I go back to work for talking.
But that's what happens. It happens every single day. Y'all need to be privy to this because what's happening here with Pharaoh still happens today.
Right.
I promise you. So you need to be mindful of that. And I'm not saying don't work hard or nothing because I understand like we still got family and stuff we got to take care of. What I will say is be righteously selfish. Do what you got to do for you and your people. Don't give all your hard work and hard-earned money back to them.
Right.
Don't do that.
Hey, serve the Lord.
Yeah, do that.
Righteously. That's how you be righteously selfish. What was that verse? 10.
Yeah, 10.
And the taskmasters of the people went out and their officers, and they spake to the people, saying, thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Go ye. Imagine you just show up to work that day and somebody come out here and make this speech. I ain't gonna give you no straw. Go ye, get you straw where ye can find it. Yet not all of your work shall be diminished. I know you gotta go out there and go get that straw. But what you did yesterday, it can't be lower today. Your work shall not diminish. If you picked up 50 phone calls yesterday, you better pick up 50 phone calls today. If you moved 100 boxes with them forklifts yesterday, I don't give a damn if you gotta go build a forklift and bring it back over. You still better move 100 boxes a day.
They do not care.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Verse 12. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters hasted them, saying, fulfill your works, your daily tasks, as when there was straw.
You know who that is?
Come on.
That's a supervisor.
Come on.
That's really what it is. Like when they be patrolling around trying to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do, that's a taskmaster.
That's a taskmaster.
A supervisor supervises you to make sure that you're doing what you need to do. And then I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't give a damn how cool your supervisor is, especially if it's not one of us. They're not trying to lose their job.
Right.
I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you. They're not trying to lose their job. They got to that position for a reason.
Right.
Do not, how can I say this? Don't be naive. Hear what I'm telling you. I'm not saying go to work and just be a piece of garbage. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is you are replaceable. Understand that. Don't think that you buddy with your supervisor. Like, ask yourself, will your supervisor put their name on the line for you?
Right.
And risk getting fired for you? Ask yourself that. 9 times out of 10, no. That's not what's going to happen. These taskmasters are not going to sit here and be like, well, y'all good. I got y'all. No. Because then guess who's going to suffer? Him. So just be mindful of that.
Verse 14. And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten. Now, this is like a lower supervisor. So you got one supervisor who's over the whole building. You got these other supervisors who are supervisors of these people over here in this cubicle, these people over here in this cubicle. It's always somebody. It's always a ranking order system when it comes to work. So these Israelites, right? And the officers of the children of Israel, which Pharaoh's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten and demanded, wherefore have ye not fulfilled your task in making brick both yesterday and today as heretofore? Then the officers of the children of Israel came and cried unto Pharaoh, saying, wherefore dealest thou thus with thy servants? There is no straw given unto thy servants. And they say to us, make brick, and behold, thy servants are beaten. But the fault is in thine own people. But he said, ye are idle. These men are telling you there's an issue going on. There's a problem going on. And you know what the president of the country said? You know what the pharaoh of the country said? Ye are idle. That's today. Oh, man, I know y'all ain't got no new books in y'all school system. I know y'all ain't got no robotics club in y'all school system. I know you grew up around drug dealers and pimps and prostitutes and whores. I know the schools are almost going to get took over by the state. I know there's no food in your home and everybody around you is poor and y'all barely got any money for food and clothing and cars and shelter. I know you got to go through all that, but it don't matter. Yeah, it's because you're not spending your time trying to learn something, trying to be better. How the hell I'm gonna spend my time trying to learn something in school when I gotta go home and sell crack because ain't no food in the house?
This is like the perfect example of like gaslighting.
Yes.
Like you put people, like it doesn't matter what your race is. If you put anybody in a impoverished environment,
right,
and like all the things that you just said, right? You just down and out. Like I like to contribute that to like how like the animal kingdom works. It's like if you're in an area and there's a whole bunch of gazelle and zebra, like there's plenty of food to hunt, right? Guess what? The lions ain't really gonna have to beef like that because it's like, oh, there's plenty of food to go around.
Right.
We can just eat, right? But then let's say, I don't know, the zebras kind of got away. There's only so much to go around now. Guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight. They can't share none because there ain't enough food to go around. Now it's survival of the fittest. That is exactly what happens with just humans in general, with people, right? You put anybody, I don't give a damn, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, blue, purple, yellow, whatever. You put them in a bad situation with no education or poor education, you don't have a lot of food, you don't have a lot of water, you ain't even got clean water. Right. Michigan still ain't got clean water, which is freaking crazy. It's 2025 and still ain't got clean water with all the technology that we got. But you know, that's besides the point. You growing up around just like a broken home. Your dad ain't there, or maybe if he is there, he's abusive. Your mom, she's probably doing God knows what somewhere else. So you're already in a broken home. Then you meet other people. They ain't growing up in broken homes. You taught hate yourself. So then that bleeds over. But then it's like, oh, guess what? You got to survive. You still got to make money. You still got to go put food on the table. Because one day you're going to be an adult. One day you might have a husband. One day you might have a wife. One day you might have kids. And guess what? Now you were put in a position where you have to make money.
Right.
And guess what? You can't get a job because you dropped out of school. You didn't go to college. Maybe you wanted to go to college, but you didn't have enough money to go to college. So because of that, you wanted to join the military. Oh, you couldn't join the military because you got cataracts in your eyes or whatever. You know, like stuff like that. Or you had a health issue. You had a dislocated shoulder. Yeah, you got a tattoo in the wrong place and you dislocated your shoulder when you played football. So now you can't, whatever. You don't meet the physical requirements. So now you're down and out. You don't got no options. Now I guess what you're going to do? You're going to sell drugs.
I'm going to sell weed.
That's what's going to happen. That's what happened.
And there you're felon.
Yeah. Now you're in the system. Now good luck trying to get anything out of that. Now, let's say they do release you. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Because now guess what? They're going to put you right back into that pit hole that they got you from. And you still ain't got no help. It's not like you just magically get out and, you know, now it's like, oh, we're going to help you now. No, that doesn't happen. Unless you're in this truth. I know brothers personally who have lost everything and got it all back because they served the Lord.
And then 100 times.
Come on, man. But that's what happens. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because you know what? The white man gonna blame you. It's your fault. You ain't working hard enough. You ain't working hard enough. You're not reading enough books. Of course, you ain't reading enough books. There's gunshots. I gotta make sure I even get over here. Matter of fact, I get made fun for reading. You know, kids are impressionable.
Come on.
You know, being stupid was cool back then. Right. When you get older, you're like,
this nigga read?
Yeah, he reading. You're like, what was it? A popcorn reading?
Yeah.
And then like dude try to read it. He start fumbling on his word. You start making fun of him.
Now he ain't gonna read no.
Now he don't want to read.
This child has a mental problem. He can't even read correctly. Now he's getting made fun of for reading. Guess what? No one's gonna help him because there's no way he can get a tutor because there's no money for tutors because there's no money in the neighborhood. And how can I be a tutor on the side for free when I don't even have any money to take care of my family? Do you understand how the system works?
Yeah.
Ye are idle. The white man the devil. Like when you really start to break stuff now, I was so happy with my wife who was talking yesterday. She said something. She was like, man, they really do that stuff. Like your eyes are starting to. It takes a while. Her eyes are starting to. The crust is falling off her eyes. And she and be like, damn, they did all this to keep us in this position.
Yeah, man, we're used to it.
Come on,
we got comfortable.
Come on, man.
In a sense, I'll be real. Yeah, we did get idle. We got comfortable with oppression. Right. Understand, but then we complaining, and of course ain't nothing happening, and then they blame you. It's your fault. It's your fault you're on drugs. Not the fact that you were raised in a drug-infested environment and your daddy was a alcoholic and beat you, and your mama was on drugs, and there was crack inside of the house, and you've been around ever since you were a child. It's your fault.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Do you understand? I get it. White people, look, do you know how many grants white people were given? Like so many grants. Millions and billions of dollars have been given to white people to the point where they can't not help themselves because they have it. You're not giving those same things. A white person tell you should just work hard and you should build yourself up, build your community up, start with yourself. Nigga, they stole everything. They robbed everybody. Literally, they stole your records. Literally, somebody came to your house, stole your records, threw you in the basement, and then 400 years later said, hey, man, come on up.
After they already built up everything for themselves. And they're looking at you like, why can't you do what I did? Because you've been living on a land that you've been bestowed for generations and generations. Generational. You born into money.
What are we talking about?
But that's what happens, right? But now here's Pharaoh like, y'all.
Come on. Verse 17. But he said, ye are idle. Ye are idle. He doubled down and said it. Therefore ye say, let us go and do sacrifice to the Lord. Go therefore now and work, for there shall no straw be given you, yet shall ye deliver the tale of bricks. He's doubling down on the burden. Man, this is hard. He is doubling down on the burden of blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. He's doubling down, tripling down. Verse 19, and the officers of the children of Israel did see that they were in evil case. After it was said, ye shall not diminish aught from your bricks of your daily task. Verse 20. And they met Moses and Aaron, who stood in the way as they came forth from Pharaoh. And verse 21. And they said unto them, the Lord look upon you and judge, because ye have made our savor to be abhorred in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of his servants to put a sword in their hand to slay us. These Israelites, Moses and Aaron is coming to save them. They're given the authority by God to save the children of Israel. And because times have gotten harder, because times have gotten more burden has been placed on them, because times they've gotten weakened. They've been beat, they've been destroyed, they've been burdened, they've been harping down, they've been poor, they've been told everything that they're not going to be able to do. They don't have the freedom that they thought they had, right? They get mad at Aaron. They get mad at Moses. They complain to the people that's trying to save them.
Remember what I said earlier? They're gonna blame the people that's speaking up.
Come on.
They're not gonna blame you. They're not blaming Pharaoh, the one who's putting you through all this. They're gonna blame the people that's trying to save them. Their own people.
Come on.
That's like
it's happening.
Oh man.
Hey, be quiet. Don't say nothing because they're making our jobs harder. Verse 22. And Moses returned unto the Lord. Moses is going through what we're talking about now. Moses is literally going through it. If you want to know anything about blacks and Spanish, you just read this Bible, right? To understand the difficulties of being a leader, you should read this Bible because ain't nothing but leaders in this Bible. This is why your fake Israelite group ain't gonna make it because you don't have somebody who can do this. Verse 22. There's a man. I'm not even gonna say his name. There's a man who basically lived in a basement and worked and built the school. Didn't get himself anything. He just lived in somebody's basement and built the school in Philadelphia. I'll leave that there. And Moses returned unto the Lord and said, Lord, wherefore hast thou so evil entreated this people? Why is it that thou hast sent me? He's saying, Lord, the people that you sent me to, they are complaining. Their lives are getting worse and worse and worse, and you sent me here. Why did you do this? Can you please help these people out? Verse 23. For since I came to Pharaoh to speak in thy name, he hath done evil to this people. Neither hast thou delivered thy people at all. He's saying, Lord, you sent me down here, and you told me to come save these people and talk to Pharaoh. Pharaoh ain't weakening up on these people. He's not releasing that burden. He's giving them more of a burden. He said, Lord, and you ain't came down here and saved these people yet. What is going on? Just like any man wants to know. He wants to know a question. He wants a solution to a problem.
And if I could real quick, this is kind of going back to what I brought up earlier about like the difference between Moses and Joseph and like I'll say so-called Black and Latino leaders today. Both of these brothers came from an environment that was very beneficial to them.
Right.
They saw what was happening to their people, saw that they were being afflicted, and chose to help out their people, despite knowing, because Moses was already like letting the Lord know, like, hey, look, I hear what you're saying, but if I go down there and I'm trying to literally what's happening right now, and I try to save these people and try to tell them about a God that they never knew, they might reject me. They might look at me like, yeah, this dude a little crazy. Same thing that happened with Noah, going all the way back to Genesis. He telling everybody, like, hey, look, like there's gonna be water coming from the sky. It's gonna water everywhere. Everything gonna get flooded. And at this time, I know it's gonna be a little hard to comprehend, but there was no rain. It was just like dew of the earth. So of course they're looking at him like, Noah, shut up. Like you don't know what the hell you're talking about. And guess what happened? Everything that was said to have happened has happened at some point. But the reason why I'm gonna focus on Moses right here is earlier I said there are a lot of Black leaders out there now who have money, but they're prideful. Right. You're prideful. You think you know everything. You got the answers to everything, and you don't console with other men. Like chain of command, yes, you do have the highest ranking man, but even the highest ranking man, think about it. Here in the school, we have Commander General Yohana. He still speaks with the other generals.
He has the council.
He has the council. Like there's still things. General Muhammad still answers to somebody else.
Come on.
You understand? But the thing is, y'all in the world, you don't want nobody telling you nothing. You don't want nobody telling you that you're wrong. You don't want anybody telling you like, hey man, you shouldn't have did that, or I don't know if this is a good idea. You have all the answers, and that's why you fail every single time because you're hard-headed. But Moses, he's seeing what's going on right now. He's not running away saying like, oh yeah, I can't do this. He's just asking like, hey, like, what am I supposed to do? Because I came down here, I'm doing what you tell me to do, but my people, like, they are down and out, and they are angry. They're angry because they've been burdened for so long. What do I do? He's asking for a counsel. He's asking for advice. That's what a good leader would do.
I'm asking for advice. I need to find out what am I doing wrong, or why is it not working yet? Guess what? You get the answer. Mm-hmm. You get the answer. Chapter 6, verse 1. Mm-hmm. Then the Lord said unto Moses, now shalt thou see what I will do to Pharaoh. For with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of his land. Verse 2. And God spake unto Moses and said unto him, I am the Lord, and I appeared unto Abraham, I appeared unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty. But by my name, Yahweh, was I not known to them. Verse 4, and I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. Verse 5, and I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant.
Can you read that last part one more time?
And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, right, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, right, and I have remembered my covenant.
The Lord never forgets.
Never forget.
He sees everything that's going on with us. He ain't forgetting. The thing is, he just waiting for us to get right.
Right.
Like the Lord tries to help you so much. Like, it's not even funny. Like, we got to get out of this mindset of like thinking carnal. I know it's hard.
No.
Okay. Anyway, but we have to remember, like, the Lord tries to help you in more ways than one. Problem is, again, you're hard-headed.
Right.
You're hard-headed. Here is a perfect example. Sent Moses and Aaron.
Come on.
To go help them. But I get you so overcome with anxiety and depression, and you're angry and you're sad and you just working so hard. You frantic. You're like, I don't know what to do. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. You can't even sit here and look at the sign of these two men who serve the Lord, who came down to save you.
Come on.
You're so mad. You can't even see what's in front of you. Sometimes, like, look, Israel, we got to learn to get out of our own way. So
right.
We got to do it. Like, sometimes you got to take a moment and sit back and be like, all right, let me think about this for a minute, okay? You've been praying to the Most High all this time, and then you don't even realize that he gave you a son.
What's the spirit behind what happened to you? I broke it down. It was a long time ago I broke it down. And a brother, it was a class, it was Washington, D.C. Captain Shock was teaching, and he said, the brother was like, man, I was asking Most High to give me some more money or something like that. Or like, I need some more extra bread, extra income. Mm-hmm. He was like, man, the Lord took my car. Like, there you go. There's extra income right there. You ain't got no car no more. You got to pay insurance no more. Like, the way you see something is not the way it should have been taught. You don't work on the Lord's time. The Lord works on his time. He'll do something for you. You just don't see what he's doing. But he's doing it. He's like, yeah, I need a car. You really probably don't need a car. You live in DC. You can just catch the train. Like, you live in LA. You probably really don't need one. You can just catch the train everywhere. That's what the Lord does. I said I needed some money. I ain't got a car no more. Guess who had a car? My old lady got a car. So she didn't have a crib. I got a crib. You start to bundle stuff up. You like, oh damn, it did work out the way it works. It worked out what I wanted to work. It just didn't work out the way you thought it was gonna work out. You thought you was gonna have that and get most. No, you ain't getting no raise, buddy. You're black. You're not getting a raise. Just get that out your mind. I don't care how hard you work. That $1 raise you might get, you're not getting it anyway. It's like verse 6. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. Mm-hmm. And I will take you to me for a people, right? And I will be to you a God. Where are you getting God loves everybody at? You can't find it. Mm-hmm. You're not going to find it. What was written then is the same thing written in the New Testament. Because the only thing they can go off of in the New Testament is the Old Testament. That's why they always say, as it was written. They didn't make up anything new in the New Testament. That's your problem. How am I gonna make something up new when it's written in the Old and I'm going off? This is what the book says. This is what my records say. They say he's the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'm to you, you're gonna be my people. To you, I'll be a God. It's only written for us. Where are you getting that Paul and changed it? If Christ is the Son of God and is one with God, and Paul comes up under Peter, who comes up under Christ, why do you think it'll be changed? It doesn't change. It's the same thing. God loves blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and nobody else. God is our God. He's our power. He's our Abba, our Father. No one else. It's like verse 7. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God. And ye shall know that I am the Lord your God, right, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. And I will bring you in into the land concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And I will give it to you for an heritage. I am the Lord.
So here, like, I know I keep saying it, but here's a sign, yo. Here's a sign. And when I say here's a sign, I'm not talking about, I'm gonna break it down like this. I'm not talking about what's happening in Egypt right now. Like at that time when we were living in Egypt, they're listening to Moses and Aaron, right? I'm talking about literally you. I'm talking to you. Anybody who's watching this video right now, you, this is your sign right here. We're telling you what you need to do, what you need to be wary of. We're giving you advice. We're telling you, hey, do not sit here and give everything to all these other nations. I think we brought it out, this was like a while ago. Like black people are like one of the only like communities, like the money does not circulate within our community.
Right.
Like, Asian people, they keep their money. Yeah, they buy stuff, but they keep it within their community.
Right.
All these other nations, they do that. You know, like statistically, black people have the lowest income in the entire country.
Right.
But I know it sounds crazy because we have black millionaires and stuff like that. But as a whole, as a community, we are at the bottom because you don't have a sense of, again, righteous selfishness that, hey, we're going to serve our God. You lost your way. So you think you put your faith in everything else. You put your faith in name brands. That's a study, by the way. They literally studied us for that because you're so poor. And then it's like, well, I got Gucci.
Come on.
I got Versace. I got Louis Vuitton. Oh, I got this. I got Sephora or whatever the hell it is. Like, that's what you got now. And now you think you about something. Meanwhile, it'd be like the richest white person you could possibly think of. This man got on blue Wrangler jeans.
Right.
The dad New Balances. I ain't talking about the cool looking ones. I'm talking about like the blue, white, and silver. He got a white t-shirt on, and he got like one of them like leather watches.
Yeah.
And he a millionaire.
Right.
But the reason why, it's the mindset. Stop giving your faith into these other nations. Understand that you are an Israelite. Don't worry about what anybody else is telling you. I don't give a damn what anybody else is telling you. It's gonna be your own people telling you, oh yeah, we're not this, we're that. Shut up. No, you're not. All right. You know, in fact, if you really believe that, go do that.
Right.
Go there. You think you're African, go to Africa. Go live over there. I say right now, don't go to the Congo because they're in slavery. Like in hard, like we in slavery, they're in slavery. But go back over there though.
They chopping their hands off.
I'm being real. You think you this? Okay. You some of y'all slide you. Some Hispanics think like, oh, we're Spaniards. Okay, go to Spain.
Right.
I look, I've been to Europe. I'm gonna tell you right now, they know that you're not them. But hey, go there if you want to. Right. I forgot where. It might be in Italy or it's in Spain, one of them. But there's a statue that they have. Oh man, I'm so mad. But there's a statue that they have where it's a Spaniard standing on top of a Native American. Just to show you again what they think of people. But you can go do. Look, you can call us a crackhead all you want. Go do what you want to do. Let me know how that works.
Right.
Right. Even if you do end up getting money and you do well for yourself, okay, what about the rest of your people? Your child might be rich. They still won't go out there and be black, though. They still won't get racially profiled. Still won't go through the same hardships. They got money, though. And then you might just lose your heritage because they might hate themselves so much. Oh, he'll get himself a white woman.
Right.
And then you're going to have a Patrick Mahomes situation because his children are, they Israelites, but
yeah,
it started getting a little spooky after a while. It's like, I don't know.
Right.
You know, but we're telling you this for a reason, man. This is your sign. This class is your sign.
Right.
You even knowing about the Isupk manager on your Honda is the sign. That's the sign.
It's the sign. Verse 9, and Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit and for cruel bondage. This is another task. This is another thing to divide us. We're gonna work you hard, boy. And the dude that's trying to save you, don't even worry about it. We're gonna work you hard. That is such a evil, wicked adversary, you should say. Bro, that man, dude, he is very cunning in how he treats you. He knows what's gonna separate you. Like, yeah, y'all talking about free us, but y'all got us working all hard. We ain't listening to you no more. Because now we're getting to the point where we hate you.
Yeah, they ain't got no faith.
Come on, man.
They gave up.
What are we talking about? Verse 10. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Go in, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, that he let the children of Israel Go out of his land.
All right, so we kind of left on a cliffhanger a little bit, but we're gonna get more into it. Exodus is, I'm gonna be honest, it's probably one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
Personally.
Especially with Passover coming up.
Oh yeah, this is perfect time.
Definitely dwell into the spirit of Exodus. Like the spirit of Exodus is the Passover. Hopefully we get to the Passover before the Passover. I'm talking about in Exodus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many verses on that, but hopefully we get to the actual Passover, to the unaliving. To you trying to unalive my sons, I'm going to unalive your son. Hopefully we get to that before Passover, so you can get.
We might get. I think it's in chapter 10 is when it starts getting to the plagues.
Okay,
but we're gonna get right. We gonna get there, but it's very. Again, like take as much information as you can from each class and really understand, because you're right, like Passover coming up, and you should really understand like what you're celebrating. Like, don't get me wrong, go to Passover, be with your brothers and sisters, but understand what it's really about.
Right.
Like that is us celebrating how we got up out of Egypt. Right? It happened before. Look at it like this: we got out of bondage before. We could do it again. It happened already. Egypt ain't nothing. Nobody cares about that place anymore. Right. It's just sand and like old buildings. Like people just go there to sightsee and stuff. But it's nothing now. Nobody cares about that place. And now like the Grecians then moved in, took over.
Yeah.
Like, the whole history is messed up, right? My point being is it happened before. We can do it again. The thing is now you need to understand, okay, read this, understand what we did wrong.
Right.
We started serving other gods. We started sleeping with other nations. We did everything wrong, right? Okay, let's not do that again. And it starts with you. I know it might seem small, but this school was not even a school at one point.
Right.
Let that be. Like there was at one point there was no commanding general, Your Honor. There was no generals. There was no you. Think about it. You was in the world at one point. We was in the world at one point. We didn't even know each other. Now we here. If somebody would have told me, oh yeah, you're gonna teach the Bible 10 years ago, I would have been like, I don't know nothing about the Bible. What are you talking about? And now here we are. It starts with you. You gotta change, because now when your children come about,
right,
they already know. They're gonna grow up knowing, oh yeah, I'm a Judah.
Right.
I'm a Benjamin. I'm a Gad. I come from this, and I know the history behind this. Teach them their history. Teach them about what goes on nowadays. Keep them up on current events. It's good. Educate your children. That way, like by the time they're 12, they already like miles ahead of everybody else. And it starts young. So now they know I'm not going to make the same mistakes. You should be proud. You should be proud if you have children and they grow up never smoking weed, never doing drugs. Stay away from that type of stuff. Like they might make a mistake here or two, but they know like, oh, no, can't do that.
Right.
And they do 10 times better than you. Because if they do, then their kids are going to do 10 times better. And then who knows?
Who knows?
One day we might just get the kingdom, but we got to work for it though.
And I want to say this to my man. It is quote unquote Black History Month. So if any of your children do have any Black History projects, yeah, make them do it by autobiography, by anybody Black. Tell them to do it on Jesus the Christ.
There you go.
That's what you do. You make them go do a freaking history project on Jesus the Christ, or Moses, or Saul, who was later named Paul. Do it on Peter, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. This is Black history. Mm-hmm. You say, hey, look, son, they want a Black History project done by the end of the month. They want an autobiography. Cool. You give them all the verses. You come ask us what they need, and they'll be able to prove that Jesus the Christ is Black in that Black school that I know his Black behind goes to. Because I know he is not going to no private school. Mm-hmm. That's right. Other than that, I ain't got nothing.
Yep. The water for everybody that tuned in. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. For the sake of time, we're just going to call for the class. Sure.